Hi friends, just coming on here to give you a quick recap of the day for our class. Today was Friday, and I'll be putting this video right here under Friday, as well as at your announcements page. So the very first few things that I told you guys in class that I'm going to recap here is number one, if you made a 7 out of 10 or below on your test, you will be eligible to do test corrections. I'll be assigning the test correction assignment on Monday of next week, and they'll be due on Friday to raise your grade up to an 8 out of 10. So that'll raise your grade up to an 80%. Also, this weekend, I'm going to be filling any missing assignments with a 0. We've had about 4 weeks of school so far to understand that we need to make sure we're making up missing work. So anything that is missing will become a 0, and you'll still be able to make it up, but just know that those zeros will affect your grade. So what we did today in class, we clicked on modules, and we opened L12 opening entrance ticket. It says, in the previous lesson, you completed your mid-unit 1 assessment in order to demonstrate understanding of point of view and word meaning. In this lesson, you will begin your work with identifying themes in the lightning thief. For our daily learning targets, it says, I can demonstrate understanding of the excerpt from chapter 10 of the lightning thief. I can identify themes in the lightning thief. And our directions for our entrance ticket say, read this sentence from chapter 10 of the lightning thief. The time of the Titans was the 4th age, sometimes called the Golden Age, which is definitely a misnomer. So we wanted to use our affix list to try to break down the word misnomer. So I click on the word here to open my affix list. So as we're looking at our affix list, we want to think about, first we want to write our word. So I'm just going to write the word misnomer here. So if I'm looking at the word misnomer, it can be broken up into miss, nome, and So miss is the prefix, nome is the root, and is the suffix. So let's go ahead and look at our miss prefix. I'm going to scroll down until I find miss in the prefixes, and I think I found it. So I'm going to put my little poker here to see miss. It means wrong or incorrectly. So now we know what our prefix means. Now let's kind of find our root. So I'm going to scroll down to roots, and I'm going to look for nom. And here it goes. So nom means name. And then our last part, our suffix, is or er. So I'm going to scroll down to er in the suffix list. And I find that that means applied to create the noun version of a verb. So our last part, our suffix, is not really adding to the meaning of the word. It's just telling us that it makes a verb into a noun. So instead of an action word, it turns it into a person, place, or thing. So now looking back at our word misnomer, if we know that miss means wrong and nome means name, we can figure out that misnomer means a wrong name or wrongly named, okay? So let's go back to our Canvas page, and we'll look at how it's being used here in the sentence. It says, the time of the Titans was the 4th age, sometimes called the Golden Age, which is definitely a misnomer. So we figured out that misnomer means the wrong age, and what they're telling us in this sentence is that the time of the Titans, or the 4th age, should not be called the Golden Age. That was a misnomer. So maybe it wasn't as golden as they made it seem. After that, we went ahead and scrolled down and clicked on next, and we watched a video about the difference between main idea and theme. We figured out that theme is a lesson or a moral of a story that can be applied to many different texts. And a main idea is what a specific text is mostly about. So then we took notes. We opened up this theme versus main idea sorting activity. We clicked on make a copy. We know the first thing we always want to do when we make a copy is to rename it. So we went ahead and put our cursor up here in the name of the document. We erased copy of, and we replaced it with our name so it's easier to find. And then we needed to file it. So we clicked on that file icon, opened up, scrolled down to our virtual school year folder, clicked the arrow, found our ELA folder, clicked the arrow, and clicked on move here so we can access it easily. We're not turning in this assignment. This is just for notes. So our directions say, read the following 10 statements, then move the statements into the chart, separating which ones are example of a theme and which ones are examples of a main idea. A theme, remember, is the message or a lesson that an author reveals through a significant and repeated idea in the text. And a main idea is what a specific text is mostly about. So let's go through these 10 statements. Hard work pays off. We discovered that this is more of a lesson. It could be applied to many different texts, so it's going to be a theme. So we're going to highlight it, copy it, and paste it down here in our theme section. Then even heroes have flaws. Same thing. We figured out that this was a lesson that could be applied to many different texts. So we're going to copy it and paste it in themes. This one kind of tripped you guys up because some of you were thinking that we have a hero in The Lightning Thief, which is true, but a lot of different stories have heroes. And then we had breaking the rules is sometimes necessary. Again, this one was a theme because it was teaching us a lesson, and it was not just applicable to a specific text. It could be applied to many different texts. So we moved that one down to theme as well. Then we get to completing a quest is important to Annabeth. We figured out that this was actually a main idea because it's specifically talking about our Lightning Thief book, and a trick that helps us know that is because they've named a character by their name. We're going to put that in main ideas. Half-bloods have complicated relationships with their immortal parents. We have discovered that this was also a main idea, one, because it's not really teaching us a lesson, and two, because it's dealing with a very specific type of creature that is in our book called the Half-bloods. Not every single book or story has half-bloods, so we couldn't apply that to lots of different stories. It's also not teaching us a lesson. So we're going to copy and paste that into main ideas. And then we get to the right thing and the easy thing are rarely the same thing. This is also an example of a universal theme. This could be applied to many different stories and scenarios, not just our Lightning Thief book. So we're going to copy and paste that into themes. Next, we get to Grover's friendship with Percy grows stronger throughout the novel. We figured out that this was a main idea because it's specifically talking about the character Grover, and it's not really teaching us any kind of a lesson. So that's going to go to main ideas. The Greek gods are the source of Western civilization. This we figured out was also a main idea because it's specifically talking about the Greek gods, and that can't be applied to many different stories. It can be applied to stories about Greek gods, but not to like Little Red Riding Hood or any other story where you could apply a universal theme. So we're going to copy and paste that one into main ideas. Got two more, one for each one. Percy cannot complete his quest without his friends by his side. This one kind of was tricky because it does kind of teach us a lesson that Percy it's easier for him to complete quests with friends by his side. But again, it's specifically talking about our Lightning Thief book, which tells us it's a main idea. So we're going to copy it and paste it into main ideas. Our last one is it's never too late to change your ways. This is a universal theme that can be applied to many different stories. So we're going to put that into themes. So you guys will keep this in your file just to make sure you can always go back to it to look at the difference between theme and main idea. So remember, theme is a message or lesson that an author reveals through a significant and repeated idea, and it can be applied to many different kind of texts. And a main idea is what a specific text is mostly about. Great job, guys. So after we finished our notes, we went back to our Canvas page. And we scrolled all the way down, clicked next to get us to our independent work, which was chapter 10, Gist and Vocabulary. So we worked on this independently. If you did not finish this in class or you were absent, you need to be doing this over the weekend. So the first thing you want to do is either read the chapter on your digital Sora copy of your book or your paperback copy, or listen to the linked audio that I provided here as well. As you read and complete your gist statement, these are some questions I want you to be thinking about. Who is accompanying Percy on his quest? What gifts does Percy receive that he will take on his quest? How might they help him? What challenge does Percy face in chapter 10? What is his response to that challenge? And what might that reveal about his character? You don't have to answer those questions. Those are just things I want you to think about. Now down here in red is what you need to add to your text box. One, you need to provide a gist for chapter 10 and use you're putting your gist in your own words. Your gist can be 1 to 2 sentences or about 20 words, or you can do 10 hashtags. Remember, gist is in your own words. You're not copy and pasting from the synopsis or from another website. The second thing you need to write in your text box is a sentence that you make up using one of the 2 new vocabulary words. The 2 new vocabulary words and their definitions are listed below. So please make sure you do both. When you're finished with your gist assignment, you'll click next, and it has a prepare for upcoming learning slide, which is just telling you to read chapter 11 in advance so that you are ready to discuss it in class on Monday. All right, guys, that is all the work we did in class. As always, please make sure you're clicking on grades to see any work you're missing. It's going to show this red missing status, or it's going to have a dash where the score should be. If you have anything else besides a score, like a T for a text box or a piece of paper, that means you submitted it and I just haven't graded it yet. I'll get grades caught up this weekend, so don't worry if that's you. The only time you're missing work is if it has a missing word or if it has a dash. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. You can make a comment on the announcement or you can email me directly. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.